Lana, I'd like you to please address some of the comments that we've had come in
Sure.
from our users. The first one being she was really keen to go ahead with a home birth, but is feeling exceptional pressure from her family who don't believe that this is the responsible thing to do. What do you say to a mother like that?
If the mother is really done her homework and researched and found a good midwife and she has good backup in place, and it is, the pressure from the family that is really the only negative response that she's getting, it's the reason that we actually started the Cape Town home birth gatherings, because each time we have it, there are about 20 other women mostly feeling exactly the same thing. They say, I can't tell my family or friends, or if I bring up the topic with them, it just boils over into arguments because they cannot understand where I'm coming from. And so the gathering is a space where those women can share their hopes, their dreams, their fears around home birth without being judged, without being without any negative feedback. So sometimes it's worth actually telling your family, look, I'm giving birth at a hospital. You don't have to tell your neighbors you're going to be having a home birth. You don't have to tell your family if they're going to be negative. It will impact your labor in some way. And in fact, the less people at the labor, less people at the birth, better for the birth. Yeah.
And what do you say to the woman who says that I would very much like to have a birth at home, but my home just doesn't feel like the right place, or I don't have the right equipment, or it's not nearly sterile enough. It's not a hospital environment.
Yeah. There is an in-between option between home and hospital, and some midwives and in some South African cities you'll have birthing centers. So it is a facility that also offers services to women having low-risk pregnancies, but it's not a hospital bed with medical equipment on display and stirrups and things. It looks like a hotel suite, if you like, or a bedroom. It's got a lovely bath, and that's a nice middle road for a lot of women. And a couple of independent midwives actually have such facilities at their home. So moms who, for example, come in from out of town cities where there are no midwives can come to a facility on the midwife's premises and have a lovely home birth with a skilled midwife and that. And then just to address the issue of birth, at home not being sterile or clean, giving birth is not a sterile procedure. And in fact, babies that are born at home are probably better off than babies born in hospital, because through the pregnancy, the environment that the mother lives in is her habitat, and she is colonized to that habitat. So by the time that the labor commences and the baby is born, every germ in that household, that baby has been exposed through the mother. And that is why we, in a home birth, oftentimes we instruct the moms not to wash the baby for at least 3 days, because the baby, whatever's on that baby needs to be on the mother's skin, and the mother actually creates antibodies, and that passes through her breast milk to her baby. So it's the whole concept of the baby not being separated ever from the mother, and the continuity of skin to skin care. All of those things help strengthen the baby's immune system and make the birth sterile in that way.
Which is, of course, the complete opposite of what would happen in a hospital environment. The baby would be taken away first and then washed quite soon after the birth, if I understand it correctly.
Yeah. A lot of the hospitals are slowly coming around to the importance of skin-to-skin care and things like delayed cord clamping and not, wiping all the vernix off. But yeah, it is still a fight. You have to put it down in a birth plan. You really have to almost claim back your baby. I definitely do get the sense with moms having babies in hospitals that it's very much, they almost have to ask permission to get their baby, and sort of having babies away in the nursery. Whereas in a home birth, there's no chance of the baby getting swapped with another baby. You have really unrestricted access, and in fact it's exactly what midwives encourage for the whole bonding, the whole skin to skin breastfeeding journey.